dream of to have a great standard of life. I understand that there are people who... A brokey is somebody who cannot live within the means that they dream of to have a great standard of life. I understand that there are people who don't make very much money, who live on a farm, grow their own food, have apple trees in their garden, have a wife, have chickens, have pigs, have cows, have their family, and they're bringing in 60, 70,000 a year, but they're living in a field of abundance. Their life still has abundance and they have everything they want because they've manufactured a system in their life where they have everything they want. Brokey, I can only talk about from my standpoint because I am a consumer capitalist. I want the nice things that consumer capitalism offers to the people. I want the world's fastest cars. I want a sports car. I want a big house. I want luxury watches. I want all the nice things, custom-made suits that consumer capitalism offers to everybody if you have the money to buy it. So I think a brokey is somebody who can't have the things that they want. It's very simple. If you want a nice car and a nice house and a nice watch and you have a Porsche and a 3-bedroom house and a standard Rolex, nice pair of shoes, couple suits, and you're happy with that, then you are not a brokey. Whereas if you're sitting there in the exact same setup, crying and crying your eyes out that you can't afford a Bugatti, crying that you're still flying economy and not first class, then you are in fact a brokey because you haven't found a way to make your expectations match your work ethic, your income, and everything else that's being delivered by life. That's what makes you a brokey. Are you happy? Yes or no? Do you have enough? Yes or no? I do.
Yeah, if you want to start creating content, again, see what sticks. Start recording your life. Obviously, the very boring parts of your life are never gonna make for good viewing anywhere. But that's essentially what me and Andrew did. We started just documenting the things we did. Spending money, buying cars, going shopping. Then Andrew would talk about news topics. We used to call it offending what's trending. And this is about 10 years ago. So we'd find something that was prominent in the news and Andrew would rant about it and talk about it. And that turned out to be far more popular than us buying Lamborghinis or, hanging around women and going to nightclubs and all the other stuff we were recording. It was these tiny little segments of Andrew ranting about current affairs that I think was the beginning of his rise to stardom. And now he's still famous for doing exactly that. That's essentially what the Emergency Meeting podcasts are. It's me and Andrew talking about what's going on in the world in our unique comedic way. So if you don't know what to do, record everything and see what gets views, see what goes viral, see what people share. I think people evolve over time anyway. The content I was making when I was 25, I still ran my webcam studio back then. I had no kids back then. I was just some young guy. I was making pretty decent money. I had 2 supercars and a rented house. I was doing okay for myself. But I think the content changed as I changed as a person, as I grew up. You can actually watch a chronological timeline of me growing up if you follow my content closely enough and you were to go back far enough and find all of my old videos. So I don't think you necessarily need to diversify purposefully. I think that it will happen accidentally anyway. If you are popular and if people do watch you, you do grow up and you do change your mind on certain things. And then your content becomes different. Obviously, when you're in a position like I am, people love to throw your old content back at you. Oh, you said this about women when you were 25. So? I was 25, fuck off. I'm 36 now. So procrastination and hesitation are the enemy though. So whatever you're gonna do, I suggest you start today.
A step you could take to come across as a more elegant person is always, I guess, to present yourself better. I try to give answers and I've been trying to give answers that shy away from appearance because appearance is so amazingly important and everybody already knows that I don't want to give the easiest answer in the world, but certainly dress in a way that complements your body type. Try to wear a nice watch, have your hair cut, have your hair styled, have your facial hair either shaved or trimmed so it looks nice and you look sharp. I think that is certainly one of the most important things you can do as a man or a woman. And the simple reason is that first impressions are called first impressions for a reason, and it's very hard to shake them. Now, if you have no substance as a man, let's say you look like a Calvin Klein model, and you're in great shape and you're wearing a great suit, but you have no substance, there's nothing in your brain. The first appearance isn't going to get you that far. It's only going to get you the first 30 seconds of conversation, whether it be with a woman or a man or a business partner or you're pitching somebody in a meeting. If you sit there and you can't speak well and you have no ideas and you're stupid and you're swearing and you're using bad language, that first impression will go out of the window very, very quickly. However, it's starting the race sprinting, if that makes sense. So always make sure you're presented well.
There's nothing wrong with that. And if you have a scholarship that pushes you towards your dream, if your dream is playing in the NFL and they say, well, come play for this college team, here's your scholarship, sir, then by all means go and do that. Pass your classes with as much competency as you need to. It's not going to do you any harm, and pursue your sports career. Nothing wrong with that. But don't take out the loans. Don't sign the papers that put you in debt slavery. Don't do it, because there's no escape from generational debt. It's not worth taking that payoff, because if we talk about the odds of making it into the NFL or the NBA, they are low. Calculate the odds with the millions upon millions of university degrees that are handed out by universities every single year, even in a country like the United States alone. What are the odds that that degree is going to make you a millionaire in the short term, in the first 10 years, 15 years? The odds are, I'd say, a lot worse than somebody who's pretty good at football trying to be an NFL prospect. So what's the actual payoff? Signing those papers and getting into debt slavery, I don't think is worth it. I think it's the worst gamble ever. If there was a 50-50 chance that you'd have all your debt paid off in 2 years and you'd be living a nice life, maybe then, with a 50-50 chance, you have a 1 in 10,000 chance of that degree specifically putting you in a place where your debt's gone and your life is great. I'll tell you how university degrees have become inflated. In the same way the word model has become inflated. I am 36 years old, and I remember a time there was 2 or 3 girls in my hometown who I knew were models. You'd find them on pictures of shampoo bottles and on TV commercials, and you'd be like, this girl from my town is a model. With the advent of Instagram, which is essentially a university that prints out model degrees, what's happened is the word model is meaningless now. Oh, I'm a model. Wait, you make a very decent living and make a great income doing professional modeling. Well, no, but I have this Instagram profile and I get booked for various jobs and photo shoots and all these people want to. There's no such thing as a model in the traditional sense anymore. They're much harder to find because any girl who says she's a model, you're not impressed by it anymore. You have to actually look into their life. Does she have a great agency? Is she at London Fashion Week? That's my test. Has she been to London, Milan, or Paris Fashion Week? If not, you are not, in fact, a model. So I'm a doctor. Wow, great. It's the 1940s and you're a doctor. You must be great. You must know medicine. You must be adept with the highest levels of medical science. Oh, no, I'm a doctor. Why are you a doctor?